Hello, I'm Skid, and today I'm giving you an updated quick look at Monster Hunter Rise, specifically for the version after the release of Sunbreak. Today is the 2nd of July, and Sunbreak came out on the 30th of June, some point in the night. Unfortunately, that release broke both Flawless Widescreen and REFramework, so all of our available fixes to push this game beyond 21:9 support broke at that time. Flawless Widescreen, as of the time of recording, hasn't been fixed, but REFramework has. In order to use REFramework, there will be links in the video description to it and any other scripts that I am using. But in order to use REFramework, you basically just need to download the dinput8.dll and put it in your installation directory. So when you do that, when you boot, you'll get this little screen here. Now, the only things you need to do to enable multi-monitor or beyond ultra-wide support, because this game does already support ultra-wide, is one, make sure you have enabled ultra-wide in the display settings. Yeah. They have added a new, the developers, CAPCOM, have added a new option here, display position. This just changes where some display elements are. So, particularly menus. So if you notice this menu is here, if we change this to position 2, everything is now aligned to the left. So basically you want to keep that on 1, otherwise it'll be way off screen. So yeah, make sure you have it set to 21:9, and then come over to the REFramework window, click on Graphics, enable the ultra-wide aspect ratio fix, and then disable the override of the FOV unless you want to manually tweak it. That will then put it to just flat out multi-monitor mode. So that's basically it. There is, however, a problem in that this does not fix the UI, or the HUD specifically. So this menu is now all the way over here, and I seem to remember that Hayden's Fix put it here. But anyway, we'll quickly jump into a game, and I'll use my test character rather than my main one, because I don't want to proc the story. Let me just move this out of the way. Actually, no. Press insert to get rid of it for now. Hi. So, as you can see, all of this stuff is pretty much where it was originally anyway. Oopsie daisy. You can see that the menu down there is actually still in the right place. But if we actually get into a level, a quest...
Don't forget to eat.
And then the important parts of the HUD are all off screen. This includes power coatings for the bows and things like that. For whatever reason, you can see it down here. I can't bring up the cursor. Actually, I can bring up the cursor. I can do that. This here is still central. I don't know why, but that is probably the most useful thing to actually still be centralized. So I'm glad that still works. But yeah, health bar, stamina bar, they're all the way up there on the left-hand side. I've tried to fix this. We'll get into that in a minute. But the other thing that you may want to do is you may want to grab Rise Fixes, I think it was called. Rise Tweaks. Again, there'll be a link in the description, because this will allow you to override the frame rate for cut screens. So you would have noticed the menu was running smoothly. So yeah, that's how you override the cut screen. Excuse me, flogging the vote. That's how you will override the cut screen frame rate. If you also want to override the image, this will be enabled by default. I've disabled it because obviously I think it defaults. This override defaults to well above the default. It is in display. If you want to override this and set it higher, you'll use this option here. But it comes enabled by default, and if you're playing on a triple monitor, then you probably don't have the bandwidth on your GPU to have it enabled, so you'll probably want to disable it. I was losing 20, 30 frames per second until I turned it off. So yeah, that's where your frame rate adjustment is. So the only thing we can't do is adjust the UI position. Hayden, if I remember correctly, fixed it by making this a percentage value. I've not been able to find a way to do that. The best I can do with this is, obviously, this goes from 1 to 100. after like 8 hours yesterday, I managed to get it to allow me to set it to basically... Oh, did I not update it? Or is it just not auto-updating? There we go. I managed to get it to allow me to set this to basically anything up to 1,000, but the internal logic of the game doesn't allow it to actually action above 100. And I have no idea how to even start tracking that down and fixing it, particularly not in RE Engine. So unfortunately, we have to put up with that being the best we can do until someone else fixes it, because it's beyond me at the minute. But anyway, that covers all the important stuff. Everything else should work. So the Sunbreak is DLC for this game, as opposed to actually being a separate game. So it's still using all the core engines. Everything else is working the same. They have changed some things with how the main game functions, but we'll worry about that when we start our playthrough of Sunbreak next week. Obviously, with the game coming out on, was it Friday 30th? No, it was Thursday. It came out on Thursday. I spent most... Oh, no, it came out on Thursday night. No, I was right. It came out on Thursday. The fix came out, or the fix for REFramework came out on Friday, and I spent most of Friday trying to get the UI to be fixed, and I failed. So I didn't have enough time to record an episode for tomorrow, so first episode of my playthrough will be next week. There won't actually be a video tomorrow. Speaking of which, I need to get to recording that, so thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheerio.